welcome everyone. So, yes, say it was going to be a normal video, but I thought for time purposes, a live stream will work just as well. And so I will pop this on the channel listing so people can watch this after the fact. As normal. So the episode 2 for the giveaway that I'm doing from Sub 70 and 11 Golf, answers to questions. That's the whole idea. I'm posing statistical, analytical, there you go, strokes gained, that kind of thing. And so you can get a better understanding of how golfers play golf, you play golf, how other golfers in your handicap level play golf, and so you can understand from shots gained simple ways you can improve your golf for free without having to worry about lessons, without having to worry about sort of buying expensive equipment or anything else like that. Just simple decision making that you make all the time when you play golf. So if you have seen episode 1, now you kind of get the idea of what's going on. For this, I pose a question. I'll then give it a few days for you guys to sort of get in the comment section and give your answer. And then we have the answer video. This is the answer video. And then we have a little chat about what the answers are and then why. And so you can learn a little bit more. And then it's a bit of fun, but the competition part of it is the questions that I put through are effectively graded. And there is a little leaderboard, as you can see, scrolling up the top there. Is it at Ice Tray 2468 or whatever it is? It's currently leading by 1 point, so not by much, so don't worry. There is still 80 points up for grabs, so plenty of time to make up lost ground. So even if you haven't even joined yet for the next question, you've got ample catching up time without any problems whatsoever. So let's get straight into the question. It was a simple one, from an understanding of using a tee against not using a tee. I have a video coming on this one very, very soon. I've done the legwork for it today. So without giving up too much information, obviously the information within that video is from me. Now this is for amateur golfers and it covers the average of everybody. So there is going to be a little bit of this, remember, when you're sort of spraying across the whole of the averages of everything. There will be an understanding that it will affect high handicap golfers, generally speaking, more than it will do very, very good golfers. But generally speaking, what we're talking about in this one, for this question at least, is true throughout. So when you use a tee, as opposed to not, so when you use a tee, what is the difference in distance? Do you gain or do you lose from using a tee? Remember, we're talking about par 3s, range from 100 yards all the way up to 200 yards, so you've got sometimes more. And so you've got people using lob wedge all the way to sometimes 3-wood for that kind of bracket. A lot of different golf clubs which have an effect of where you hit it on the face. Now, when we're talking about tee height, etc., that's a completely different subject, but again, we're not just talking about a standardized tee height. If we could get a little bit more analytical about the data, understanding if every single shot was played by the exact same tee, but unfortunately human beings are allowed to pop that tee into whatever distance they want. And so you will always get different variables with different golfers. However, what you're finding is the answer to this, and we'll get into the explanations, the actual answer for the averages across everybody, for all shots, all handicaps, that idea is 12 yards gain. You actually gain 12 yards on average across all the handicaps with using a tee, and then you actually gain 5% greens in regulation for free using a tee. The biggest fault that, shall we say, amateur golfers have is their strike. I mean, they've got face to path issues and stuff like that. We're talking par 3s. Generally speaking, we have loft in our hands. Yes, we have those par 3s with 3-wood and stuff like that. So yeah, you can imagine that there will be a certain amount of, he's in there, Ice Tray, yay, I'm doing it. I'd like to know who you are. I've lost my thread now. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of different variables. Now, when you're talking about the vertical strike point for an amateur golfer, it's fine when you're on a tee because you can slightly thin it, you can hit it in the middle, you can slightly fat it if the ball is on a tee. The problem you've got, obviously, if the ball's on the ground, you can slightly thin it, no problem. You can hit it in the middle, no problem, vertically. but you can't hit it high on the face, because if you're going to hit it 10 mil high on the face, effectively that means you're going through the ground to get there, aka a fat, a chunk, a duff, lots and lots of words for the same thing. So you can never get away with high on the face. When you're on a tee, you can. Now, of course, if you can hit high on the face, especially say with a wedge or something like that, you are going to get penalised. But you're not going to get as penalised as badly as if you do the exact same shot without a tee. So from an amateur point of view, Adrian, I got more distance using a tee. Yes, you know, as a general, you do. Absolutely right, you do. And so, again, as a general rule, every amateur golfer use a tee. The only thing I would say for this, and it is a bit of a proviso, if you have to understand this, the bigger the handicap, the larger the gain. So as I said, I'm doing a video at the moment centered around this whole topic and understanding the information a little bit more in depth, because it is, for me to put a video out there, because it is a statistic, so, and it is a bit of the question and the answer is fun. And for the absolute massive chunk of the golfing pyramid of triangle of golfers, where the big chunk at the bottom is made up of high handicap, mid handicap golfers, use a tee. Absolutely use a tee. Now the top part, it's a little bit of advice on this one. So the gains are going to be much bigger on the fat part of the triangle. Absolutely is. No different to the percentages or gains might be exactly the same, but it's effectively the same saying, what's 1% of 100, 1, and then what's 1% of a million? Well, 10,000. Well, 10,000 is a darn sight more than 1. Same percentage, but the difference in business, as I suppose, between margin, like cash margin and prime percentage margin, all that lot. But it's true. So if you're a high handicap golfer, use a tee. Absolutely. You can get away with fat strikes because the ball is already off the ground by X amount of millimeters. Even when it comes to a wood, you can absolutely get away with fat strikes or heavy strikes on the face, because of the fact that actually with a wood, hybrid, anything like that with roll and bulge, the center of gravity is pulled away from the face, you're going to get a higher launch, lower spin, and you're going to get that extra distance. When you have the same problem with slightly high strikes, as you're going to miss when it comes to heel, toe, yes, we all miss, but vertically, so low on the face, middle, and then high, thin, you can get away with being on a tee or not. Middle, well, it's just middle, but high on the face. When you're on the tee, you're going to be hitting the ground at the same time as the ball. The ball's off the ground by a certain amount because the tee height, you're going to hit high on the face. Absolutely fine. Will you lose a little bit of distance? Definitely with a wedge and an iron, yes. With a fairway wood or a hybrid, not so much. But the main thing is this, because of the fact that you've got variation in strike vertically, and you can get away more with a tee, then effectively what happens is, when it comes to the massive chunk of the pyramid or the triangle, is that you end up hitting it fractionally longer, or 12 yards longer on average. Remember, that's throughout the whole of the golf clubs, not just lob wedge. We are talking all the way to 3-wood as well, the whole lot. And so you're going to gain some yardage because of it. And if you imagine when it comes to the greens in regulation, the simple thing is this: so many, it's a ridiculous amount of percentage of shots into a green all come up short. With that extra distance you're going to get from a tee, it pushes the golf ball further. If it was going to miss left because it's gone left, or if it's gone right, the fact that you gain distance is really no object. It's going to miss left or right anyway. But all the ones that are going to miss short, in anywhere between the 0 or 1 yard to 12 yards, are all now on the green. And so effectively you're all going to have that. The middle shots were middle anyway, and the thin shots you get away with no different. So the gain is always high on the face. The always gain is the fat ones that you don't have because you're on a tee, and so therefore is the win. Carl's in the house. Sometimes I seem to pull shots left more off a tee. Can happen. That is a bit more of a complex one. I necessarily won't do it I'll do it in the live stream that we have every Monday. We'll go through the dynamics involved there. Live streams for normal subscribers and all the public are open every Monday, or every first Monday of every month. There you go. And for members, my members have a private live stream, as such you could say, every Monday. And so yeah, if you want to join, by all means you can go to the channel homepage. Next to subscribe, there's a little join button there. You can click on that, and then obviously you can join and be involved in the live streams that we have every single Monday, of which you can ask ask any single kind of question you want, and there's also some insider information from time to time, which is always a little bit of fun. Sorry, strike the ball thin when elevated. I less likely to strike thin when elevated. It's an interesting one because, again, I've done the information today for my own self, and I'm a little bit, so it depends on Ice Tray 24. What's your handicap? Will be an interesting one on that one to say. John says, shot often too high from tee and lose distance. That is true, you do get that. Especially if you're going to use an iron or a wedge. High on the face is never good at all. However, if you're going to hit high on the face and the ball is on the ground, you would hit it fat, and that's going to by far take far more distance off than a slightly high strike with a tee. Private live stream sounds wrong. Yeah, Carl, you're right. It does. I should reword that one. It is 15 handicap. Okay, that's interesting. So how you were talking, you're talking about things which, generally speaking, are reserved for handicap levels much lower. But you kind of have a point. It will be interesting to pop on a live stream on a Monday where we can talk about it in a far longer depth than just well, this is 13 minutes already, so I want to be careful about time. So every single time you hit a green in regulation, you are saving, give or take, 3/4 of a shot. I will not use that as a question or an answer to a question in any one of the other ones, because that's a bit daft. But effectively you do. You save, give or take, 0.8, I think it is, but effectively 0.8 of a shot every single time you hit the green rather than miss it. And so it is important that you can get certain information like this, which gains you greens in regulation for absolutely free. If you want to be involved in the live streams, Ice Trade 24, then by all means you have to join the AskGolfNut community. You can pop on there, have a little look at your heart's content. But with this 12 yards gain, 5% greens in regulation gain. Now that is absolutely true for higher mid handicap golfers. As you start taking handicap off and you start getting down to the very good, so really the video that I'm going to be doing or coming up is much more for understanding from the very good golfer's point of view, and then other golfers which aren't very good can look at it and then discern themselves from the information they see on the internet. And some of the information that you see on the internet is very, very sketchy when it comes to this. I need to try and explain it because I just don't want to be another one of those people which pop out something like this on there and say, like, always take a tee, where it is very much so true for the most part. There are certain situations and certain scenarios where you have to be aware that actually it isn't. And I'll explain in the next video, and also explain in the live streams as well next Monday for the members. Rob says, just before we go, so what is an average number of par threes on a on a course, and what is the average length of the holes? I'd have thought something around about 150 yards. Again, that differs depending on where you are in the world, what kind of ground conditions that you play on, how long the golf course is, obviously, that's a massive one. What tees you play from. So that's a huge variable in itself. But if I would say you wouldn't be too far off if you said give or take 150 to 160 yards would be, I would say, a fair estimation of a standard par 3 length. And so for most people, we are looking around in the handicap golfers a 6 iron, I would have thought, something like that, a 6 iron. And depending what golf clubs they've got, obviously if you're traditionally lofted, then it would definitely be a 6 iron. If you've got power bat galore, it might be an 8. Because some of these power bats nowadays, wow, they are strong, raw. Remember, there is 80 points still up for grabs. This is for the custom fit set, a free custom fit set of irons from either Sub 70 or 11 Golf. Very kindly, they've agreed to donate a set of golf clubs to the winner of the competition. And the whole idea of the competition is basically just to give you guys a better understanding of statistics, analytics, strategy, decision making, all those things that you do on the golf course in your head, and you wish you made a better job of after you've hit the shot and just realized, why didn't I think of that? So that's the whole idea of this series, to try and empower you with a little bit more information. This information is free, it's out there for all to see. Generally speaking, it's boring. That's why people don't look at it. And so I'm trying to do it in a way which is a little bit more fun, a little bit more engaging. And also you get a chance of having a little fun prize at the end of it. Or it's not a little fun prize, a full set of irons, and I think I might even be able to squeeze out a custom wedge as well. It might be custom. I might be able to get it laser etched as well. I might be pushing my luck, but I'll give it a go. Hope you liked the video. If you did, thumbs up. Go on, YouTube's like it, so do I. Down there is a subscribe button. It's free. It's great for the channel if you could do that, so thank you. And next to that is a bell icon. That's a notification bell. If you click that notification bell, it will let you know next time I upload another video and also go live. Members every Monday, non-members, normal public and subscribers every first Monday of the month. So hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.